Okay guys, this video is going to be going over the basic overview of Unit 6 of lettering. So keep in mind there's a couple things I want you guys to understand. The first thing is that we're going to be using very light guidelines, and you need to come get 6H lead from me for lettering. So 6H, physically come and get it from me so I can give it to you. Second, you're going to find out that you must use triangles on Unit 6.1, which means you will do none of that with freehand. 6.2 is done freehand, the best of your ability. So yeah, let's just jump in it and let's get started. So this is what Sheet 1 looks like. When you do Sheet 1 and Sheet 2, okay, the first thing you need to do is tape it down, because remember, guidelines need to be so light that they not need be erased. Now, with that being said, I have a set of dimensions on here that you will just simply finish setting the guidelines for every letter. So we're just going to slightly go over a couple of them here. Notice this first top section of set of letters has a height of a 3/8, and the space between them is a 1/4 inch gap, which means the distance between these two lines is a 1/4, and the actual text itself is 3/8. So you will measure down a 1/4, and you will draw a guideline so light that it not need be erased, and you will write each letter over again 4 more times, which means for these Z's, there will be 5 total Z's. 1 I've given you, and 4 more you will do. Now the spacing on this is all done by your eye. So what I mean by that is you definitely don't want to have a bunch of Z's all slammed together. You want to have them nice, evenly spread out. So I'm going to give you an example and hopefully be good at it. But well, actually, let's do the E, because this is an E, right? This is the H. This is an L. Now, actually, I probably shouldn't show you because I don't have it taped down and I don't want to make this video long, but you will grab yourself a triangle and you will do everything that you need to evenly space this out so it looks legit. And then you'll go this way with your T-square, you know, and make it all look nice. Now this is a horrible representation because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this video, but this must be taped down. It must be used with triangles. And secondly, you don't have to follow the exact way they're doing the text. What I mean by that is if you want a D that doesn't have little tails at the end of it, I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as it looks like a G, I'm golden. Now you come to a Q. Instead of doing all those lines in there, just simply grab a template, find out the size that sets 3/8, because you have measurements here, okay, and you just simply come over here and you say, okay, hey, my Q looks like that, and then come over with your triangle, your 45-degree triangle, and then just kick it. I mean, that's a good enough Q for me. It looks like a Q because it's got the tail to it, the leg, and it's got a circle, and it looks golden. If you want to do B's like that, you may do so also. Okay, so you can just curve it, make it look nice, or get real small ones, right? Make it look nice, curve it around, go a bigger size, curve it around. You can do that. You don't have to follow this. So with all that being said and done, Sheet 1 will be done with triangles and templates for circles, because I want you to see what a good letter would look like with that. Secondly, we just did the top letters. There's a set of bottom letters here, and you literally rewrite compact and expanded, and they'll sit right over the top of each other, and then holes at centered horsepower. This bottom section of letters is a 1/4 inch. Your letter will touch top to bottom. Keep that in mind. And the spacing between it is 3/16. So you will rewrite this exact thing. and then down below it's asking for the date. You will write it just like you've done it. Write your date. Write the unit. Write your name. Up here, sheet. You need to draw light guidelines represented by the set of dimensions that we have for down here, and draw a light guideline and say sheet number 1. It's pretty easy. This is worth 10 points. Now, the second sheet, which is here, is all done with freehand, which means don't try to rush through this and turn it in and just, make an 8 look like this, because I won't accept it. If you're looking to draw an 8, maybe take the time and draw a circle. Remember, this is all freehand, right? So your whole purpose is to make it look the best you possibly can. And you do not have to write it like them. So an example is, I don't like writing 3s like that. If I want to write my 3 like this, I can do so. Or that. It's completely up to me, but I've got to make it look like a 3. Don't do this. I won't accept it, because I can just tell that there's not a lot of time put into it. It's very important when we do lettering, because you guys are the ones to be designing and drawing all these things. And if a person cannot legibly see what you're doing, whether it's a real quick design that you guys put together and now you pitched it off to a lower intern or something, and they're required to draw it. If you have 3s that look like that and 8s that look like that, and it gets very confusing for a person to be able to read things. So just like in the sheet 1, you've got to do it 4 more times, 8s, 0s, and this is all done by freehand. And you have measurements in here. Notice the big text. It's 3/8. The gap is 1/4. Now we're here. You're going to repeat this 1 more time down here. So you have a 1/4 inch whole number. Then you got your fraction bar, which is a 1/16th, a 1/16th. And then it goes back to 1/4 here. Now you got to do it again. Here's your gap. Gap is an 1/8 inch. And then you do it again. 1/4, 1/16th, 1/16th, 1/4, and then you come to that line. This one you do 2 more times. These ones I've just drawn out for you, and you physically hand write them in and make them look gorgeous. Okay, other than that, it's pretty easy. This one's worth 10 points also, but if I start seeing stuff like this, and I can tell that you aren't putting a lot of time into it, you're going to sit back down and you're going to redo it. So, don't go so fast. Take your time. Other than that, I think that's all I need to show. Remember, use your triangles, use your freehand for sheet 2, and we're golden. All right.